Welcome to Wingcat Sports. Today we're going to be talking about Lions free agency, who they signed, and how we feel about them. We're going to first go over the defensive side of the ball. They ended up getting Cam Sutton, C.J. Garner Johnson, and also Manuel Mosley as their top three defensive guys, along with keeping Anzalone. How do we feel about that?
Oh, I think they filled a lot of holes, like a lot of people are saying. I think they put themselves in a really good position for the draft. And the first time in my 50 years watching the Detroit Lions, I am not concerned at all about who they take. I have a lot of confidence for once in the people who are running our team. Um, they could pretty much take whatever they want for the first and second pick. Probably will go defense. That's probably what everyone's saying, the defensive line, cornerback. But if they don't, it doesn't really bother me. I think they're in a great position to shoot for the stars. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the defensive signings are really good, helping the secondary, which was the main problem last year. They didn't have a good secondary. Their line should be good going into next year. They should have a better defense within the top 10.
I'm not, because of my age and because of what I've gone through with that team. I'm a little skeptical. You know, I think cautiously optimistic, which is about the best I can do. Uh, Gone through a lot of years where we've said this and never seen this much hype, never seen this much exuberance, and before they've even really done anything. I know they had a great stretch at the end of the last year. We were at the Green Bay game. A lot of good feelings as the season ended, but this is the Detroit Lions. And while I am optimistic, more so because of who's running the team now, the ownership, the GM, the coach, it seems like they have the right people in place. And so that makes me feel good about it. And I think I'm just going to wait and see. Lots of things can happen. Lots of teams are spending money and getting players. So I think we look really good, though. I think, like most people, I was not on board with Goff for a first year and a half, and he changed my mind. I think with the right people around him, he's going to do well here. And I really don't even think we have a quarterback concern. I'd like to see them get Teddy Bridgewater if he's capable, because he's someone who could win you some games.
And with them giving him potentially a contract soon. Speaking of Goff, we'll head towards the offense. The offensive signings mostly being David Montgomery, Marvin Jones coming back, along with Graham Glasgow also coming back. Even though when I found out about the signing, you even noticed I wasn't too happy right away because I wanted to keep Jamal. But David Montgomery is an improvement over Jamal Williams.
Oh, I think that's without a doubt. And they could get Bijan or any number of running backs. I like Chase Brown. I think if we could get somebody like that in the fifth round, that would be great. It's a very deep running back pool in the draft this year. Um, so we don't have to get Bijan, but if they love him, what the hell? Get him, and that would be a great tandem. I think, like most people, we know that Swift is a big question mark. He's very good when he's healthy, um, and we have a new running backs coach this year that came over from the Colts, who is very well thought of, and who knows, he might be able to get something out of them. I like Craig Reynolds. I like the fact that they re-signed him, and I think the three of them, if they don't get a running back, but I'm more leaning toward a guy like Chase Brown in the later rounds. I think he's got. I mean, behind our offensive line, we could get anybody really. The first, they said the running back pool is like almost 15 deep for this draft. So you have a number of players you can choose from.
You do have an option to get a running back. You do already have three that you probably already like on the roster with Reynolds, Swift, and a Montgomery coming in. So if you drafted a fourth one, you have to see what's going on there. Maybe Reynolds would end up being more of a fullback in that kind of case.
Yeah,
could
I
do that.
mean, they already have that one hybrid running back tight end.
They do. I mean, you have options. You have to figure out exactly if you draft a running back. I don't know if how high running back is on the table for them, being as Swift is in his contract year. If he does well this year, he'll get his contract. If not, they'll probably draft another one next year because you got Montgomery. So next year might be the year you look at your running back and not this year.
And as I said, I think it's more about the people running the things for me. I have total confidence and it's weird saying that because I've never had that with the Lions, but I am pretty much stress free. Whatever Holmes wants to do, Jalen Carter's there at 6. I know a lot of people are saying they shouldn't, but I doubt very much that if they don't take him, it's because they've done their due diligence and they just do not think this guy has it above the neck. They don't think he's in the right headspace. But if they do take him, just the opposite. I think that they've done their due diligence and they realize what a massive talent he is, and they think that they can fix that part of him. I lean more toward take Jalen Carter, but whatever they want to do, I'm sure they have the resources to be able to make that determination.
I mean, you could take Jalen Carter because, like I've mentioned to you before, that the risk is worth taking since you already have such a strong defensive line already. By drafting him, you can give him the time to mature more in the situation.
Of course, that's with the provision that Will Anderson isn't there. Will Anderson is there. You take Will Anderson.
I think you need to strengthen up your middle part of your defense. Even with you getting Anzalone back, I still think your weak part of the defense is the linebackers. Your linebackers could improve, even though you have Rodriguez and Anzalone. You could try to draft somebody to improve that.
Right. Oh, I'm sure they're going to. They like Jack Campbell from Iowa. They're going to probably. It wouldn't surprise me if they took him with the 18th pick if they felt they had to. This is saying if they don't make trades and they don't move up or down or whatever. I think that's a possibility. They seem to really like that kid. He seems like a perfect fit for Dan Campbell and what he does there.
Yeah.
But there's, that whole thing now, they said because of a couple drafts, that Holmes doesn't like to take linebackers high. He doesn't value them. That may be true. But you're in a position that you have never been in before where you don't have a lot of weaknesses. You have the luxury of being able to take whatever you really want. I mean, whoever the best player is at that place. And if it's a linebacker,
I would say probably try to get some linebackers. Your only other guy you signed in the offseason to fill up that middle was Maven. Which is he's going to be he's going to be your third or fourth string linebacker, right, depending on who you get.
And they realize too that you have to sign a certain number of guys to fill out the preseason. You have to have people that aren't going to be on the team because you're not going to play the people you want in the preseason. I mean, the people you're going to keep. So that makes perfect sense. Who the heck cares? I mean, he's at best a practice squad or special teams guy.
Yeah, and then they did sign someone to potentially be the backup, the same guy last year, which was Nate Sudfeld, which hopefully they do sign or draft someone who could be better than him to fill in the role and give a little bit more confidence in the backup role. And then the only special team signing they had, besides their long snapper, is they re-signed their kicker, Michael Badgley, which I think you're on the same boat as me as with drafting Mooney in the 6th round if they can get him. If they get Mooney, then
Moody or Stetson Bennett as a backup quarterback. I don't know why I'm stuck on him. He's not big. He's not, but
he's too old.
He's a winner. Well, you're not getting him to be the starter. I think they're going to re-sign Goff. I think that Goff is going to be our quarterback for probably the next at least 5 years.
As long as he does well this year, he will get his contract. If he doesn't do well this year, then
there's no reason that I see almost no reason, barring injury, that Jared Goff is not in the top 5 in the NFC at least.
Well, there's
You can't expect him to be better than the AFC because that's where all the quarterback power is. But who's better than him in the NFC other than Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, there's not. That's where it starts to go around. You can try and make an argument for Dak, but Dak ain't that
No,
great.
I don't think you can.
Stafford's hurt. Trey Lance young. Most of the West teams, they're all young QBs. Kyler Murray, he's hurt to start the year, and I would rather have Goff than Murray.
Right.
Derek Carr in New Orleans, he ain't better than Goff.
Bro,
So there's not a lot of good QBs in the NFC besides Jalen Hurts. Is the definitive probably best with Rodgers if Rodgers is leaving.
I mean, there are some that are comparable to Jared Goff. I think Daniel Jones could be right there with Goff if they put the pieces around him, because that's the thing. Goff is not somebody who is going to dominate. He's somebody who plays within the framework of the scheme, and behind a really good O-line, he can be very efficient.
Yep.
And that's all you really need.
As long as they are building around them correctly, they should have a good team. Anything else before we're done?
I think the most thing of going back to Goff, one more thing about him is the intangibles, that he is a really good team guy, smart. Him and the coach get along. I mean, that chemistry is important. You get along. I think that's the only reason he didn't succeed toward the end in LA, is that him and McVay kind of went their separate ways, and for whatever reason, he lost confidence in him. But here, I mean, Dan Campbell and him seem to be, together.
Yeah, and if they do well, right, you can make the argument that the Lions probably won the trade. Yeah, LA got their Super Bowl, but who knows when they'll be good again because Stafford's hurt. And that's
a topic for a different day. I mean, the idea of, would you sacrifice getting one Super Bowl to be utter crap for probably the next 5 years? Personally, I hope that we're competitive for a while. That's all you really can ask. No one's guaranteed a Super Bowl. I mean, you just want to have a team that you can cheer for and, hope that has a shot at it. Like I said, going back to the owner, for the first time in a long time, we have an owner that's a fan, and that's really important. Her parents weren't fans. Her parents could care less.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a season that I'm really looking forward to.
And we'll see what happens. We'll have another conversation on what our predictions are for the season once we get the schedule out and after the draft. But with that being it, if you guys liked the video, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we hope to see you guys here again soon.